What is going on, Roland Empire here, guys, to give you a video. Just wanted to give a little bit about my 2 cents. I was like, you guys are well known that I like Damien Chazelle in the sense of the filmmaker, what he's done. I have to check out if I've seen First Man as a review. Like, I gotta see if I've done that. I know I've seen the movie. Entertaining, really good, well-made movie. If I do review, I do review. But I give him my vocal things of what I thought of, like the La La Land, how that one's given him so much accolades, so much recognition. But I might, who knows? Who knows how I will title this video? But I want to talk about that film that kind of put him on the spot in a sense. And I'm like, yeah, Whiplash is intense. Whiplash is intense, definitely. Whiplash is intense. And this is the movie that, like, wow, it really showed the skills that he has as a filmmaker. This movie by Damien Chazelle. Damien Chazelle really, I want to judge it the way the movie starts and the movie ends. Like, the way it starts, it's like it takes a while to kind of show what's in picture, but you hear what's going on. You hear the intense drumming kind of thing going on, and you wonder, like how, like, what is this, like what is this, and how immersive it is. And you realize it's like Miles Teller kind of, just practicing and all that, and giving a nice establishment of how the film of the look is. But you're like, why is he here, or what is he doing right now besides also playing the drums? And then having, I think, like J.K. Simmons come in. So at the bat you know who our main characters are in this story, and the way it ends with them too, especially being book and how it bookends, and how it's become a staple of how he ends movies. But how they're finally, like, at the concert, and Miles Teller's giving his best. J.K. Simmons is pushing him to the limit, and it gets real intense. Intense as in, like, how the close-ups get, and then how the music and the music acting just gets so like louder. It's like, in a sense, louder like this, and then how then it calms down. It calms down in a way, and then you realize, like, how emotional the movie wrapped up. How that movie wrapped up. Those are two things I could just say. Those are prime examples. And throughout it, you get establishing things like, Miles Taylor, how he has a relationship with his dad, and you think it's one way, but then when you realize how Miles Taylor tells his passions, he has it more not up to par. There's friction. There's friction within the family, especially in a dinner scene that he has with kind of like, I think it's his uncles. I think it's his uncles and his cousins and all. So you get that, how he's kind of the struggles he comes with. And J.K. Simmons, that guy, the performance, we know what kind of performance is. And there's ways that actors shape after certain movies of their careers. Not necessarily that that's them, but it's like a trademark now that you have to have. It's in your contract to act a certain way, even though the performance might be a tad bit different. I feel like JK, this is like that for him. And just, you want to love him, you want to hate him. And even when he has, like, when he gets a visit from a friend, and then he talks to the prodigy, and then just shows a nice likeness to him, and we get Miles, Miles kind of giving us the look as the audience, and realizing, like, it's like, oh, he's very, deceiving, or he is a good character, but when it needs to get tough and intense, like, if you sign up for the class, if you sign up for his classes, that's when you're like, you signed up for this. That means you're going to let me teach you the way I teach you and all. So it's interesting that it's not so one-sided. It's not really one-sided. There's all these kinds of, like, faces, like the faces within characters, and especially, like, those two with the way their stories captivate. It really is their story. Like, everybody else really is a compliment piece, but it really is their story. It makes it so entertaining. And then a lot of, like, when they get into the sessions and JK's pushing everybody, JK eventually brings in alternates from outside to kind of, get that the drive and all that going. Oh, which I want to say, when they established both actors, I liked it. I like how it became what we're gonna go, because it's like JK is also reeling him in. Miles feels confident, and then when you see the true side, at least the true side of the nature of how he teaches, that's when, like, the shit hits bonanzas. The shit hits bonanzas, and that's what a lot of the movie is. And a lot of the movie is really good. Awesome cinematography, awesome editing with the way things are performed. Things are kind of lit in the rooms, especially those. It's a nice way to, like, captivate you. There's music going through that, and the music's really good. But then also the cinematography, shot pieces are just, they're warmth. They're really relaxing. But to think that the contrast is more intense of what goes on is not really as relaxing, and I like that. I like that. Just like I said, contrast. The contrast is really amusing, entertaining for me, and then it's I like it. It gets to the point. It really gets to the point. It's not a very short movie, but it's not one of the longest movies, and you understand and just with Miles Teller, like Miles Teller shows that it's the character that wants to show the passion he has. In a way, you really think like you're like, yeah, La La Land and Whiplash, they really have similarities. Yeah, La La Land and Whiplash have those kind of like driving for your passion kind of thing. But in this one, it's that thing that's just like how how psychologically you'll go to kind of achieve with what you want and all that. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating with the way also, there's the certain scenes of like how he has to get to a certain place and he has to go back pick up his book and then he needs to go back to to the show where the whole class was waiting, and this whole intense like car crash sequence with Miles Teller just so Miles Teller does a good job at least conveying that kind of stuff, and just seeing also just how then eventually you know how just it gets there. It's all that kind of the psychologic of what goes on, and then realizing after J.K. Simmons has another scene with Miles Teller, realizing why he acted the way he acted, but then after that, J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller have that relationship where, and when everything goes back to normal, still you realize they're like, oh, it was just deception in a way, and it's just, it's like at this point, it's like he's trying to get back at him, but still, there's that thing where it's like he's pushing him and he's trying to show him who's the best, and it's that war, it's that kind of war kind of thing, and it just makes the movie so entertaining and so satisfying from a cinema piece. Definitely from a cinema piece, it's a nice like looking film. So let me know, guys, what you thought. If you guys really weren't too much of a fan of this movie, tell me why. And if you are, if this is one of the best movies you've seen, if this is one of your favorite movies, tell me why. Again, these are always my thoughts and opinions. I had a good time with the movie. I had a really enjoyment with the movie. It's just really entertaining and all that. So all this in the comments below. And as always, roll an empire, laugh, smile,